Hey everybody, let's do some linear programming. So this assignment, we haven't really covered um, much of it. We haven't covered any of this particular assignment. So this video is going to be, I'm just going to go through all 5 of the ones that were on this assignment, linear programming assignment, and you can just go to whichever ones you did. So first one, Potter's making cups and plates. Takes 6 minutes to make a cup, 3 minutes to make a plate. Each cup uses 3/4 pounds of clay and 1 pound. Cup uses 3/4 pound, plate uses 1 pound. She has 20 hours available for making the cups and plates. It's 250 pounds of clay. And then this has to do with the objective. Profit, $2 per cup, $1.50 per plate. How many cups and plates? All right. Identify the variables. C, number of cups made. P, the number of plates made. The objective function, profit, is equal to 2C plus 1.5P. And now we need to do our constraints. All right, I'm going to start with some that are not necessarily, they're maybe so obvious that we wouldn't write them. Which one is that P needs to be greater than or equal to 0 and C needs to be greater than or equal to 0, meaning I can't make negative plates. We have to confine ourselves to the positive numbers. Okay, but other than that, we have some other things. I'm going to start with the weight. That one's a little bit easier. The weight of the clay for a cup and for a plate. And so what that will look like is 3/4 of a pound. 3/4 is 0.75. And that is how much we use per cup, plus 1 pound of clay per plate. So I'm just going to put P. Has to be less than or equal to the total amount of clay that we have, 250. All right, and then in addition to that, we have an equation that has to do with the time it takes. So we got 6 minutes and 3 minutes, and they tell us we have 20 hours. So our options would be possibly to put these into hours, but I think what I'm going to do is turn this into minutes. So 20 hours, there's 60 minutes in an hour, so 1,200 minutes. Okay. That's the maximum amount of time that we can use. And how do we use all of our time? 6 minutes for a cup plus 3 minutes for a plate has to be less than 1,200 minutes total. And once we've done that, okay, these are the things that we have to graph. We know that P has to be greater than 0, C has to be greater than 0. We're looking in this area, and I made P my y-axis, so I'm going to solve both of these for P. And what this one looks like will just be subtract 0.75C. And for this one, I have to subtract 6C. Oh, I'm running out of room. I'm going to write it up here by vertices. So I get one equation. P has to be less than or equal to 250 minus 0.75C. And the other one needs to be P less than or equal to, and I have to divide all these things by 3. So I will get 400 minus 2C. Okay, this is where it gets a little difficult, so I went ahead and paused the video to create some numbers for my x and y axes, my C and P axes. And now I'm going to graph these equations. Okay, and the first one up here starts at 250. So at 200 here, 220, 240. So 250 would be right there. I'm going to do it in red. 250 would be right there. And now here's the difficult part, is that if my slope is 0.75, that means that if I go down 75, I should run 100. Go down 75, I should run 100, because rise over run is my slope, and it needs to be equal to 0.75. So like 75 out of 100 would work, even 150 out of 200 would work. That's 0.75. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do 150. Down 150, run 200, and that's my second point. And now I'm going to connect them. So this is the first function for plates. Plates versus cups. Okay. On that line, works. That's kind of our maximums. And now I'm going to do whoops. The other one, black line. So this one's going to start at 400, way up here. All right, and then my slope is -2. So I need to be going down twice as much as I go over. So like if I go down 200, I need to go over only 100. That simplifies to -2. And that's kind of difficult because we're not used to that. We're used to more of just a like down 2 over 1 kind of thing. But when you have numbers this big, you kind of have to bring them out a little bit. So I'm going to go down 200 more, run another 100, and I'll end up right there. Connect those dots. Okay, and so I'm ready because everything needs to be underneath those lines. And so the area that I'm looking at is this area in here. Okay. And I'm trying to maximize profit. So I should be looking for certain, I should be looking at these vertices here. And I want to think about which ones would maximize my profit. That's not a good dot. I may have to erase some of this just to be able to see it. Okay, so let's write out some of my vertices. I've got 0 to 50. That was my y-intercept for that red line. I've got another one over here that's 200, 0. I've got 0, 0. That doesn't seem like a great way to minimize or maximize profit by not making anything. And then I have another one right here that's 120. 160. I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it. I'm going to basically set these equal to each other and find out when those things are going to intersect. If I had a little more trustworthy graph, I might be willing to just run with it, but I want to know when they're going to cross. When are they going to be equal? And so I'm going to put 150 over here. Add 2c to this side, 1.25. And 1.25c. Sorry. C is indeed 120. That's what I was thinking. If C is 120, I can plug that into this. So 2 times 120 is 240. Yeah, P would be 160. Man, worked out. And so now to get my solutions, I have to plug them into the objective function. Green. Okay, so if my profit is shown by 2c plus 1.5 p, my first number is cup, my second number is plates. So for this one, it would be, my profit would be 2 times 0 plus 1.5 times 250, or 375 dollars. The next one, it would just be 2 times 200. That would give me $400. The next one would get me no money. That's a poor choice. And then the bottom one would be 120 times 2 is 240. 160 times 2, or no, times 1.5, sorry, is also 240. And so that one would get me 480. So my solution is 120 cups, 160 plates. And when I do that, my profit will be $480. Yummy. Next one, coming up.